Imagine waking up in the middle of the night, looking at the ceiling in the dark and realizing that your mind is not resting, but running in circles, simulating all the financial scenarios that could go wrong in the next few days, such as the car breaking down without warning, a medical expense appearing out of nowhere, the silent fear of losing your job, or simply the constant feeling that any small mistake could turn into a problem too big to solve. This type of anxiety doesn't appear because something bad is happening at that moment, but because you know, deep down, that there is no margin for error. There is no cushion. There is no room to breathe if something goes off script. For millions of people, this is not an exceptional situation. It is the default state of adulthood. Each trip to the market involves mental calculations. Each invitation to go out carries a hidden calculation. Each simple purchase is accompanied by guilt or fear, because money never seems enough to cover the present and, at the same time, protect the future. Living like this means that money stops being just a resource and starts to occupy a constant emotional space, draining energy, focus, and tranquility. Now consider for a moment a simple but powerful question. What if there was a specific value that, when reached, would not make you rich, would not radically change your standard of living, but would be enough to turn off that mental alarm that never stops ringing? A value that doesn't solve all problems, but completely changes the way you react to them. Most people imagine that this number needs to be huge, something reserved only for those who have already succeeded in life. But the reality is much more interesting than that. There is an exact point at which money stops being just survival and starts being security. And when you cross that point, something profound changes in the way you think, decide, and move through the world. That point, for most people, is not $1 million, not 100,000. It's the moment when you save, for the first time, your first 10,000. There is a very common idea that money only starts to make a difference when it is spent, when it becomes visible comfort, better objects, or more expensive experiences. But the first $10,000 completely defy this logic, because most of the impact of this value does not come from consumption, but from its simple existence in your account. In practice, most people who reach this milestone don't drastically change their habits. They don't start traveling first class, they don't change cars, or they don't start living above the standard, but they still feel that life has become lighter. What really changes is your relationship with risk. When you don't have any reserves, any decision outside of your routine seems too dangerous. Asking for a promotion, changing jobs, moving to another city, or even planning a simple trip carries a huge emotional weight, because there is a real fear that one mistake will be enough to put you in an irreversible financial situation. With $10,000 saved, that same set of decisions stops seeming like a desperate bet and becomes a calculated choice, where the worst-case scenario no longer means collapse. This value works as a psychological buffer. It doesn't make you reckless, but it gives you back something that scarcity steals silently, the ability to think calmly. You don't make better decisions because you became smarter overnight, but because fear stopped taking up all the space in your mind. And when fear recedes, clarity appears. There is also a real physiological effect happening behind the scenes. A feeling of financial security reduces chronic stress levels in the body, which means less tension, less anxiety, and more energy available to deal with everyday challenges. Problems that once seemed like existential threats are now seen as setbacks, and this shift in perception changes everything from the way you sleep to the way you behave at work and in relationships. The first $10,000 doesn't buy luxury, it buys margin. They create space to breathe, to make small mistakes without destroying everything, and to make choices based on strategy, not panic. And this margin, although invisible to those looking from the outside, is exactly what separates those who constantly live on the defensive from those who begin, for the first time, to play the game of life in a more conscious way. If this content is helping you see money in a clearer and less distressing way, it's worth considering subscribing to the channel, because the idea here is not to promise shortcuts or financial miracles, but to calmly explain how small changes in mentality and structure can generate real effects in the long term, especially for those who want to stop just reacting to problems and start building some real stability. One of the most profound transformations that happens when you reach your first $10,000 is not visible from the outside, but happens silently inside your head. Constant financial stress keeps your brain in a state of alert, as if you were always on the brink of a threat, and living like this for a long time takes a heavy toll on focus, patience, and quality of decision-making. When this stress subsides, something rare happens. You start to think better, not because your life has become perfect, but because it no longer seems fragile. Without a reserve, any unforeseen event, such as a car problem or an unexpected medical expense, immediately triggers thoughts of catastrophe. The mind jumps straight to the worst-case scenario: debt, maxed-out card, embarrassing requests for help, or months of trying to recover. With $10,000 saved, the same problem is still annoying, but it no longer dominates your emotional world. You resolve it, pay it, move on, and preserve your mental energy. This difference changes your daily behavior. You sleep better because you don't go to bed anticipating financial tragedies. You become more productive at work because your attention isn't constantly divided between tasks and money worries. You become more patient with the people around you because you're not operating on edge all the time. Reducing financial stress creates a domino effect that improves areas of life that, at first glance, don't even seem to be related to money. There is also a significant reduction in so-called decision fatigue. When you live in a pinch, every choice, no matter how small, requires calculation, comparison, and renunciation, which consumes mental energy throughout the day. With a solid buffer, many of these micro-decisions stop being about survival and become about preference. This release of mental load may seem subtle, but it is exactly what allows you to start thinking about bigger strategies, more distant goals, and decisions that are not just stuck in the now. When we talk about money, it's easy to think this is all just psychological. But the truth is that the first $10,000 creates very concrete changes in real life, especially in the way you deal with inevitable problems. Car repairs, for example, stop being traumatic events and become just expensive inconveniences. Most car emergencies cost much less than that, and knowing you can resolve them without going into debt completely changes your emotional reaction to the problem. The same goes for health issues. Even without a perfect plan, most emergency appointments, exams, or unexpected procedures fall within this amount. This doesn't mean you'll never have medical worries again, but it does mean that a surprise won't automatically turn into a financial crisis. The difference between these two scenarios is huge, because a health problem is stressful enough without the added weight of financial despair. Job loss, which is perhaps many people's biggest financial fear, also takes another form when you have a reserve of this size. $10,000 usually represents 3 to 6 months of basic expenses for many people, and that time changes everything. Instead of taking the first available job out of fear, you gain the ability to look for something better, more aligned with your goals, and often better paying. This margin of choice usually generates positive impacts that last for years. But perhaps the most interesting point is the emergence of opportunities. With a financial base, you can invest in courses, certifications, or strategic changes that previously seemed impossible. You can say yes to something that requires an upfront cost because you know it won't put you at risk. Having $10,000 doesn't guarantee success, but it guarantees access, and access is something that changes entire trajectories without making a sound. There is a fundamental difference between those who can save money and those who live forever in a pinch, and this difference is rarely just about income. The real turning point happens when a person stops seeing themselves as someone who tries to save and starts seeing themselves as someone who naturally saves money. Reaching the first $10,000 is usually the exact moment when this change of identity is consolidated. Before that, saving seems like a temporary effort, almost like a restrictive diet that requires constant sacrifices and daily willpower. After this milestone, the behavior changes because the internal reference changes. You've already proven to yourself that you can accumulate, keep, and protect money, and this proof changes the way you make future decisions. You begin to distinguish wants from needs more clearly, not through deprivation, but through awareness. This new perspective makes invisible opportunities appear. Spending that previously seemed normal is beginning to be questioned. Sources of extra income begin to be explored with curiosity, not desperation. Long-term planning stops seeming distant and abstract and becomes part of your daily logic. And the more time you spend operating this way, the more automatic the process becomes. Saving the first $1,000 is extremely difficult because it requires sudden changes in habit and constant discomfort. The second $1,000 is usually easier, and from then on the psychological buildup effect starts to work in your favor. When you reach $5,000 or $6,000, saving no longer requires the same mental effort because the behavior has been incorporated into your identity. The most important thing is to understand that $10,000 alone is not the end goal. They are evidence that you have developed the most important skill for building wealth, which is not making more money, but keeping the money you make. And once this skill is in place, growth stops being a matter of luck and becomes a matter of time. When you save your first $10,000, something silent but definitive happens inside you. For the first time, your life stops being guided only by what is urgent and starts being influenced by what is possible. Freedom, in this context, has nothing to do with luxury, extravagant travel, or quitting work, but with the rare feeling of knowing that you have options and that no decision needs to be made out of desperation. Having options changes everything. It changes the way you accept or refuse proposals, how you deal with people, how you face risks, and, most importantly, how you see yourself. You stop seeing yourself as someone always reacting to the world and start seeing yourself as someone who chooses. Choose to wait for something better. Choose to invest in yourself. Choose to get out of bad situations without feeling like you are jumping into the void. This change of identity is the true heritage that comes with these $10,000. Money is finite. It can be spent, invested, or even lost. But the person you become when you build that reserve remains. You learn that stability doesn't come from luck, inheritance, or absurd salaries, but from consistent decisions made over time. Learn that security does not mean the absence of problems, but rather the ability to deal with them without losing control. From that point on, the future stops seeming like a nebulous threat and becomes an open field of possibilities. Not because everything is guaranteed, but because you have already proven to yourself that you can build a base, sustain progress, and move forward with awareness. Saving your first $10,000 doesn't make you rich, but it transforms you into someone who understands the value of real freedom, the one that comes into being when you no longer need to live on the edge and starts to walk knowing that you have solid ground beneath your feet. If this reflection made you realize that money is not just about numbers, but about freedom choices and who you are becoming along the way, it's worth subscribing to the channel because the next videos continue exactly in this line, explaining with clarity and depth how apparently simple decisions build real stability over time. Without empty promises and without unrealistic shortcuts, just with understanding, consistency, and a long-term vision.